You guys are probably tired of hearing this, but I'm also tired of seeing it. Tired of seeing it. No, you're not gonna like me for this one. Trust me on this one. A lot of people do not want to let this go. Please, 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 please. Hi babe, it's Vicky here. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Happy New Year. I think this is gonna be my first video of 2025, and I wish you guys nothing but blessings and prosperity and healthy long hair this year. So in today's video, I wanted to have a quick chat with you guys. And I know a lot of people have hair goals and things that they want to do this year. I want us to start things off a little bit differently. And instead of getting into the how to grow long hair and how to do this and yada, 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 I wanted to do a video that is a little bit more chilled, a little bit of me talking to you guys, and yeah, just have a chat. The main reason why I have decided to start with today's video, and you guys can probably see by the title, but the reason why I wanted to start with today's video is that everybody is setting their intentions for the year. Everybody wants to do amazing things, and there's 75 hard, medium, scrambled, fried, sunny side up. There's a lot going on. And the last thing that I want for you and I want for my content, I don't want it to be a video that you watch at the beginning of the year and then you just shove it to the side as the year goes. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about simple things that you can swap out and you can implement in what you already have and what you're already doing to, make sure that your hair is growing at the healthiest. Instead of trying to start with things that you've never done before, I want us to start with what you're already doing, swap it out for a healthier alternative, and then build from there. The first swap out that I would make for healthy, relaxed hair is to replace washout conditioners with deep conditioners. Vicky, they're all conditioners, they're not the same. A washout conditioner is usually formulated so that you can just simply wash it off your hair. So you put it in, it usually sits for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then you wash it out. What a washout conditioner usually does is that it's meant to just coat your hair with a certain film and then just sit on top of your hair and make it smoother, make it easier to work with, but it doesn't necessarily penetrate the strands. Whereas most deep conditioners are formulated to penetrate the strand. I hope that makes sense. So usually a deep conditioner requires for you to sit with it for minimum, most of them have a minimum of like 10 to 15 minutes and a maximum of like 30 minutes to an hour. Now the next swap out that I will make, this product, I'm not saying you should throw away. I'm just saying when it comes to your routine, and if you want to have longer hair, you might need to swap out where you use it. And this is a oil moisturizer, I know. So I would swap out your regular on-the-shelf oil moisturizers with a separate leave-in and oil combo. So basically, instead of using one product and relying on it to moisturize my hair, I would actually split the process between moisturizing and then sealing. So that would be 2 different separate products instead of one. Now, the reason why I would do this, especially when it comes to moisturizing and sealing, I've noticed that obviously an oil moisturizer is formulated. So it'll have a certain percentage of oil and a certain percentage of water. Most of them have a base of water. But because you have no control over the oil, you don't really get to decide how to work the ratio. Whereas if you're working with a leave-in product and then you're going to put in an oil, you kind of get to decide. So for example, on days where I can feel that my hair is a little bit dry, I would go in with my leave-in conditioner spray, whatever. I'd go in with that and I'd let it sit and I'd work it into my hair. Not necessarily using a lot of product, but maybe being more thorough with how I'm applying it. And with that, I can actually feel as my hair is being hydrated. I can feel, okay, my hair's getting better, my hair's feeling softer. Do I need more product? Do I need to keep working on it? And based on that, I can then decide how much of the oil I then want to use, depending on the oil that I'm using that day and then my hair's needs for that day. I then have control in terms of how much oil I'm actually using in my hair. Now, oil moisturizers still have a place in my routine, but for a regular moisturize and sealing that I'm doing every 2 to 3 days, I would swap this out. It's definitely made a difference for my hair. Trust me on this one, a lot of people do not want to let this go. Guys, we're swapping out the skinny rat tail combs for wide tooth combs. You guys are probably tired of hearing this, but I'm also tired of seeing it. Please, 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 please. The downside of using a rat tail comb, even those medium combs, is that when they find a tangle, they will snag at your hair. And that's the reason why whenever a person does a video talking about how they grew their long hair, one of the things that they emphasize is using a wide tooth comb. It's not because of, oh, the wide tooth comb is going to grow your hair. No, the wide tooth comb is going to allow you to detangle easier without breaking your hair. So if you still have a rat tail comb that you use, put it down. And this also applies when people have just gotten their relaxers done. I feel like for most people it makes sense when they have growth that they need to put these combs down. But when their hair is freshly relaxed, you want to use a rat tail comb. Even when your hair is relaxed, even when your relaxer is fresh, even when you don't have growth, put it down. Sorry, had to break it to you. The next one has to be one of the harder swaps on my list, mostly because of how long personally it took for me to master the swap. But one of the swaps that you can make for healthier, relaxed hair is to swap out that blow dryer for air dried hair. I know you're not gonna like me for this one. One of the things that I was looking at when I was evaluating my hair routine, 2022. 2022 was such a great hair year for me. I saw the best results when it comes to my hair, and I've been doing quite a lot of reflection and kind of like looking at what I'm doing differently and why that year was such an amazing year. And one of the things that I actually highly suspect is that in 2023, I was very strict about heat on my head. I was so strict. At the time, I would keep my hair out for 6 weeks. So my relaxer stretches spanned over 12 weeks. So I'd keep my hair out for 6 weeks and then put in a protective style for 6 weeks. And one of the things that I did in the 6 weeks that I had my hair out is that I would literally not use heat. I would use heat the day I get my relaxer, and then the next time I use heat would be the day I go get my hair cornrowed, and that would be it. In between, when I was washing my hair, I'd simply just let it air dry. Now, I do know air drying is quite a difficult thing to master, especially depending on how dense or coarse or fine your hair is. That will determine the results. Not a lot of people like what their hair looks like when it's air dried. Personally, for me, I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I actually love how my hair looks when it's air dried. I feel like it's fuller. And also, what I've noticed about air dried hair is that it kind of gives you the freedom to moisturize however you want without being scared of, oh, I'm gonna lose the sleekness of the hair. I can just moisturize however I need to and it's done. This is a swap out that will make quite a difference, and it's gonna make the difference. You're gonna see the difference long term. So this is not something that you can do here and there. It kind of has to be a commitment that you make, and I promise you, once you find an air dry routine that works for you, definitely going to see a difference. The next swap out that I would make would be to swap out your normal towels for a microfiber towel or a t-shirt. This one always sounds very like, duh, Vicky, but Guys, up until you start implementing this and doing it consistently, will you actually see the difference? So basically, put simply, regular towels are rough. And they are rough on your hair because of how they are made or the purpose that they are meant to serve. So a regular towel is meant to pull in moisture. And when you use that on your hair and it's pulling moisture from your hair, what it does is that it makes your hair very prone to frizz, it's prone to breakage, it's prone to tangles, just because of the amount of friction that it's causing. So the thing about a microfiber towel or a t-shirt is that it will not cause any friction. It decreases the likelihood of your hair being prone to frizz, and it's not going to cause any breakage. And so because it's gentle, it will help you retain moisture in your hair, because it's not going to be taking in anything more than what it should be. And this one is kind of obvious, and I hope that you're doing this one already, but please swap out your regular pillowcases or your regular dukes that you sleep in. Please swap them out. We're either doing satin or silk, katamani, bonnets and pillowcases. It makes a difference. I'm not even going to argue with you. The people who are going to try and argue with this the most don't even sleep with anything on their hair. Yeah. I included it as a bonus, but I hope you didn't need this bonus. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new here, do remember to click the subscribe button so that you get an update every time I show face, and I'll see you in the next one.